Due to technical reason, we are just shutting down the meeting and we'll restart. Sorry for the inconvenience. Request you to rejoin the link, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Okay. No need to rejoin again.
I have rejoined actually.
Actually, I have not rejoined, but as per this Shivani's message. But if you can hear, I will not leave the meeting and again rejoin. Is it okay?
No, 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 be there. Yes.
Yes, Trupti madam, we can start. Amruta madam, can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Morning, madam.
Good morning.
Hey, madam, मेरा WebEx hand
You do it from here.
I'll tell you.
Shall we start?
Yes.
A very good morning. National Assessment and Accreditation Council, that is NAC. In one hand, it identifies the quality of the institution in terms of education, faculty, research, and infrastructure facilities. And on the other hand, it gives students assurance, confidence that they have selected proper institution. Many of the institutions in this webinar who have joined as delegates, maybe they are in the second cycle of accreditation, or some of them are applying for the first time. So in order to have proper guidance for this application process and in general progress for the second cycle, we have been organizing this NAC webinar consecutively for 2 years, and this is our third year to organize this national webinar sponsored by NAC. So myself, Dr. Trupti Chitre, NAC coordinator of AISSMS College of Pharmacy, would like to welcome on behalf of AISSM Society and AISSMS College of Pharmacy, Dr. P.B. Mane, chief guest for this online national webinar sponsored by NAC, and also our first resource person of the day. All delegates who have registered for this national webinar, Principal AISSMS College of Pharmacy, Dr. Ashwini Madgulkar, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Mrunalini Damle, all AISSM faculty, a hearty welcome for this national seminar. I'm sure everyone will have a great learning day with all these NAC experts. Now, I will like to hand over to Dr. Santosh Gandhi, coordinator of this national webinar. And also I would like to welcome Mrs. Amruta Awalskar as NAC webinar coordinator. So Dr. Santosh Gandhi, I would like to request you to take the session ahead. And thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Trupti Chitre. Good morning to all. I, Dr. Santosh Gandhi, again welcome you all for National Assessment and Accreditation Council, Bangalore sponsored one-day national level online seminar on quality sustenance and quality improvement issues and challenges. Quality is a subjective term, and there is an always a scope to advance with respect to quality. With the increasing demands of national and international industry and markets, the responsibility of an institute towards improving the graduate attributes of a student also has been increased. Overall quality of a system will lead to a better output in terms of student quality. Today's program objectives are to enhance and maintain the academic position and upgradation of quality in teaching, learning, and research in higher education institutions, to achieve guidance for quality-related research studies, collaborations, consultancy, and training programs, to promote and progress in the processes of institutional listening concerning quality enhancement through internalization of quality culture and institutionalization of best practices, to achieve better and effective library services through advanced and ICT enabled infrastructure to fulfill the needs of the students and enhance the productivity of the library services, as well as to expand the range of disciplines, subjects available to students, as well as to introduce various programs in a planned manner. With this broad objective, we have organized today's seminar. Today we have with us eminent speakers, Dr. Pradeep Mane, Dr. Suhasini.
Gandhi sir, please unmute yourself.
Okay. I request Principal Dr. Ashwini Madulkar to address the audience.
Thank you, Dr. Gandhi. A very good morning to one and all. I welcome our guests and all the delegates for today's seminar, online seminar, Dr. P.B. Mane, Principal AISSMS College of Information Technology, who has honored our last minute invitation and accepted to speak for today's seminar. This is our third consecutive year where we are arranging online seminar in collaboration with NAC. I hope this event helps all accredited and non-accredited colleges to improve with respect to quality in all aspects. Without any further delay, I ask Dr. Gandhi to continue with the session.
Thank you, madam. We have with us the eminent personality, Principal Information Technology, Institute of Information Technology, Dr. P.B. Mane. I request Dr. Mane sir to say a few words as a chief guest and inaugurate the function.
A very good morning to one and all present for this webinar on the quality sustenance and quality improvement in higher education institutes. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Ashwini Madulkar for giving me this opportunity to be the chief guest as well as the speaker for the first session. Thank you, madam. And I would like to put forth that the College of Pharmacy, the AISSMS College of Pharmacy, is doing a wonderful work in the field of education. As most of the participants may be knowing that this college is being ranked in the NRF ranking, which probably is a feather in their cap. It is at the 75th position, which in itself indicates the quality of the education which this college is imparting. And I'm glad that they have also taken an initiative to see to it that along with them, they are also taking the other colleges with them by giving them inputs from the experts by arranging such type of webinars. This is the third webinar which they have been arranging, and indeed it's a pleasure for me to be a part of it. And I hope that all the participants who have gathered over here surely will take something as an outcome, because all of you are aware that today we are talking about the outcome-based education. And when we are talking about outcome-based education, whatever activity we do, it should give us some outcome. And probably all the experts, today's experts who will be delivering their sessions, they are also experts with ample of experience, and surely the experience which will be shared by them will be helpful for all those who are preparing for maybe their first cycle of NAC, or maybe who are appearing for the second cycle. It will help in improving their scores. So with this, I won't go much further because I have also to deliver the session. So once again, I would like to thank the AISSMS College of Pharmacy for organizing this event, and hopefully this event will surely be of use to all of us gathered over here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. P.B. Mane sir. I now request Dr. Reshma Mireskar to introduce speaker for first session, Dr. P.B. Mane.
Thank you, Dr. Gandhi, sir. It's my honor here to introduce to you all Dr. Pradeep Mane, Principal AISSM's Institute of Information Technology, Pune. Sir has received his BE in EINTC and ME from Government College of Engineering, Pune, and doctorate from Bharati Vidyapeeth, Pune University. Sir was a member of the BOS for Electronics faculty in Bharati Vidyapeeth University and SPPU. He has co-authored 6 books for engineering courses in the field of radio and TV engineering and computer networks. He has published more than 50 papers in national and international conferences and seminars, and more than 65 publications in international journals. Sir is a regular reviewer for Springer Wireless Personal Communication Journal. His area of interest is in wired wireless communication and computer networks. He was co-PI for ISRO UOP research grant, a fellow of IEI, IETE, senior member of IEEE, member of ISA, IJERI, ISSS, ISTE, and Broadcast Engineering Society. Sir is the chairman and ex-student activity chair for IEEE Pune Section Communication Society. He is recognized as a PhD guide of SPPU in ENTC engineering. Currently, 5 students are pursuing PhD under him and 5 students have completed their doctorate. To his credit, Sir has received National Award for Best Engineering College Principal from Bharati Vidyapith Bhavan, Computer Society of India for the year 2017. The B.R. Batra Memorial Award from IETE, New Delhi. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Reformer Award from prestigious IRDP Awards, Chennai for the year 2019. And recently, Sir was honored with the Best Principal Award by SPPU Pune in the year 2020. We welcome you, sir, and we are eager to listen to your talk. I request you to start with the session. Thank you.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So a very good morning to one and all present for this webinar, which, as I already mentioned, should give all of you something at the end of the day. So my first topic, the session is on Industry Institute Alliance, the need for quality sustenance in higher education. A very important topic because, as all of us know, that we have to work hand in hand with the industry, and then only it is possible for us to give or impart quality education. I'll be starting my presentation with which all of you probably are knowing, the Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goals were set up in the year 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by 2030. They are also colloquially known as the Agenda 2030, which probably all of you are knowing. There are the 17 goals which have been set. And if you look at the fourth goal, quality education. So this is of immense importance because all the nations who are member of this United Nations General Assembly are striving hard to see to it that all these 17 goals are being achieved. And we as education institutes will have to do a lot of work, because if you look at all the 17 goals, most of them are directly or indirectly related to all of us. And when we move ahead with this goal in mind, just a minute, this slide has hung. So with the aim of this quality education, most of you might have gone through the National Education Policy 2020, and I've jotted down some points where the importance has been underlined about the partnership of the institutes with the industries. So when we look at the overall national education policy, most of you may be knowing that this policy speaks on the school education in the first part. The second part, it speaks on the higher education. In the third part, it speaks about the other aspects of the education. And in the fourth part, it speaks about how the policy should be implemented. So when you look at the higher education, because all of us are concerned with the higher education. So in the 11th point of the higher education, when we look at the 11.8 section, subsection, it clearly mentions that as a part of the holistic education, students at all the higher education institutes will be provided with opportunities for internships with local industry. So this is a very important point which the education policy emphasizes, is that these students from the higher education should get an opportunity for internships with the local industry. And obviously, when the students are going to get an opportunity with the local industries, it is going to lead to some researches also. It will help the faculties also. And the students will be actively engaged with the practical side of their learning. And as a byproduct, it is going to further improve their employability. So this is what the section 11.8 says. Then again in the 11.12 section, the policy talks about that higher education institutes will focus on research and innovation by setting up startup incubation centers, technology development centers, centers in frontier areas of research. And for this, obviously, there should be a greater industry academic linkages, and there should be interdisciplinary research, including humanities and social science. So again, this 11.12 speaks that there is a need for an industry academic linkages, and it is going to also focus on the research and innovations by setting up startup incubation centers, technology development centers, and centers in frontier areas. And all of us know that without the help of the industry, it won't be possible for the institutes to go ahead with such things. Then again, in the section number 16.16, the policy speaks about the vocational education, and it says that vocational education will be integrated into all schools and higher education institutes in a phased manner over the next decade in collaboration with the industry. So again, while talking about how the vocational education will be implemented in the schools and higher education, the policy mentions that the industry is going to play a very important role, and for that we have to have a very good collaboration with the industry. And surely the vocational education will be based on the skill gap analysis, and it is going to again map with the local opportunities. So again, the important thing is that this is going to help the students for the skill upgradation, and again further giving them the good employability opportunities. Then again in the 17.9 section, the policy says that for successful research will be recognized and where relevant implemented through close linkage with government agencies as well as with industry and private philanthropist organizations. So again, when talking in terms of the research, the policy mentions that the industry is going to play an important role, because as all of us know that if it is possible for the institutes to address to the research problems, it is going to help the industry as a whole as well as the faculties from the institutes to upskill themselves. And lastly, the 20.6 section, which talks about the other aspects, it mentions that there will be a great demand for well qualified manpower in the industrial sector, and this is going to again require a closer collaboration between the industry and higher education. So as I mentioned that we started with the sustainable development goals, which we often call as the agenda 2030, where the focus has been on quality education. And this session probably which I have chosen is the industry institute collaboration. And now let us see that how we are going to go about how we can establish the linkages, what are the issues and problems which are faced, and what possibly we can do to improve the industry institute alliance. Now, when we are talking that when we want to impart the quality education, by default, we know that the other than the academic part of it, uh, if we are closely linked with the industry, it is going to help a lot in upscaling the students. Now, when we talk about the technical education, we know that it is the backbone of the nation's development. It is not only for India as per se, it is for all the nations across the globe. So technical education is the backbone. Industry, we know that is playing a major role and it is supporting the technical institutes. We know that it is possible to explore the actual requirements of industry only through effective communication with them. Uh, it is always possible that if we have a very good rapport with the industry, surely the industry is also there to help us. And as I proceed through the presentation, you'll also know that how it is going to benefit us. Then it is widely recognized that there is an interaction between industry and institute today. Yes, all the institutes who are present over here in some or the other form, they are having an interaction with the institute. There may be various forms of interactions which we'll see throughout the presentation. And then we know that the industry is poised to face global competition, unemployment and underemployment, where the institutes are going to again play a very important role, because it is not only one way traffic, it has to be both ways, because the institutes are also going to help the industry in various ways. And both sides needs to have a very good and vibrant interaction. So these are some basic points which with we have started, that saying that the institutes are the backbone of the nation's development, and they are going to play a very critical role. I believe that it's not only technical education, but along with the technical education, it is also the collaborative efforts of the industry and the institute, which is going to play a very important role in the nation's development. And today we are seeing these effects in the development of our nation as a whole, where we are seeing that because of the government policies, the industry is playing a role of giving importance or helping the startups to come. They are also helping us to set up incubators and so on and so forth. Now let us see what we can do to bridge the gap between the industry and institute. Uh, Now, when we are talking that, yes, when we are saying that we have to bridge the gap, it means surely there is a gap between the industry and institute. And all of us who have gathered over here, we know that there are n number of reasons where the gaps do exist, and how these gaps can be bridged. I've jotted certain points. Probably all of you may be also knowing certain points. Some of you may be also bringing them in your regular activities as a part of the industry collaboration. So the first thing what is required is that there should be promotion and coordination of consultancy services. While talking this, I'll also like to cite some examples from our own institute, because today I've chosen this topic, industry institute interaction, because in our fourth cycle of NAC, we had shown this as one of the best practices, and it was actually applauded by the visiting committee also. And today I'm very proud to say that in our institute, we have a very good consultancy being carried out by our electrical department. And so it is required that there should be promotion and coordination for the consultancy services. Then utilization of resources from business and institutions for the good of business, students and society. We know that we have got ample of resources which lay unused, and in a similar fashion, even the industry have a good number of resources which are being untapped. So if the resources from both the industry and institute are being utilized properly, it is going to finally be very beneficial to the end customer, that is the students and the society as a whole. Then, as I said, that making available the institute's infrastructural facilities to the industry and vice versa. This is again a resource sharing concept. Creation of industry institute expert database. Many times we fail to create this industry institute expertise database, and then many times it happens that even though there are very good resource persons available in the industry or vice versa, we are not aware that who are the experts in those fields. So efforts must be made for creation of this industry institute expertise database, and many institutes or many professional bodies have started working on this area also, or even the government has taken certain efforts to see to it that the database is being created. Then forecasting the technical manpower requirement for the industry. This is also one of the areas that the institute should also look in. They should have a very good knowledge that where the technical manpower will be required. Now, just to cite an example of the engineering education, what has been happened is that many branches were set, but the requirement of the industry was not taken into consideration. And today it is happening that many of the students are remaining unplaced because there is no need of such a manpower which is being generated from the institutes. So the institutes, while creating the new courses or starting of new courses, they should also take the input from the industry, and accordingly they should forecast the technical manpower requirement from the industry for the industry. Then there should be faculty exchange, training and knowledge updates should be provided. Joint R&D activities will lead to enhancement in testing facilities for the industry. Short-term courses for curriculum updates and industry manpower development. So these are some of the points which I thought are going to help us to bridge the gap between the industry and institute. Probably many of you who are attending, as I already said, that many of you may be carrying out such activities in your regular interaction with the industries. Now, just to move ahead, we should also look in the causes of poor interaction. I said that there should be interaction with the industry. We should bridge the gap. As I said that there is surely a gap and it needs to be bridged. And we are going to talk throughout this presentation that as to how we are going to bridge this gap also. Now let us see what are the causes for poor interaction. So very first thing is that there is a lack of coordination on both sides. It happens that many times both the parties have been blaming one another, saying that the industry says that the institute should come to them. The institute says that it is the responsibility of the industry because we are providing them with manpower. The industry is saying that the manpower which is being generated from the institutes is not up to the level. They are not having the employability skills. So basically, there is a lack of coordination from both the sides, which is the very first cause of poor interaction. Then from the institute side, the education imparted is not job oriented, and this usually we have been saying that the industry have been talking that the manpower which is being generated is not skilled manpower, and they say that only around 25% of the students who are graduated are only employable, and it relates to majority of the faculties, maybe it's in the arts, commerce, or engineering, or for that matter, other professional organizations also. Then the next thing is the examination system puts emphasis on the reproduction of memorized facts. We know that the education system up till now is based on the rote learning. And as all of you, I started with the note on the national education policy, which has revamped the entire education policy which was into existence. And this new education policy or the national education policy is talking about enriching the cultural heritage of India, because we know that we had great rishis and munis, where they had almost done all the things which you are talking now about now. Because whether it is a field of medical sciences, whether it is the field of literature, or whether it is the field of engineering, or everywhere, what we are saying is that today almost all the things which are coming as newer technologies, they had been discussed long back in the Indian culture. So this new policy is not emphasizing on the rote learning part of it, where the students may not have to reproduce what they have memorized, but it is going to be on the skills which are required from the students, and for that n number of things are required. And even this topic, when you are talking about the industry institute react interaction, is going to again play a very important role when the skill upgradation of the students is going to be required, because it is going to help them give hands-on training to the students. Because we know that unless and until there is a good interaction between the industry and the institutes, the students won't be able to get an access to the industry. And when the students do get access to the industry for the internships or for their projects, the students are going to get an insight as to what the industry requires from them, and they're going to really get a hands-on experience, which is going to help them improve their skills. So this part is also there, that the new education policy has taken care of this system, and where now just to mention that many autonomous colleges have started taking into consideration these facts, where they have also made changes in the evaluation system, where the emphasis is not on the memorization of the facts, but it is on the facts that the students should show their skills. So there are a number of things which has been taken care of. Then again, when we talk in terms of this teachers, where they lack interacting with the industry, it is very true, because insufficient teaching time and learning time because of late admissions and more number of holidays. We know that this is a very alarming fact, because most of our teachers, we believe that very few of us do know what is their roles and responsibilities. Just a minute, I'll just check what has happened. Gandhi sir, if you are there, can you just help me? Just a minute.
So your PPT is not visible.
That is what I'm just. It's open. It just went off. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. So we're talking about the from the teaching community as a whole. We know that yes, the teachers are mostly busy with many of the administrative duties, as well as there are issues in the overall academic calendar from the university. And when we talk in terms of the holidays as compared to the industry, there are many holidays for our educational institutes, where we have the vacation period nearly of 70 days, which again hampers a lot many things. And most of the teachers, they are very reluctant to spend their vacation for such activities. So this is also one of the reasons for poor interaction with the institute. Then ineffective lab infrastructure discourages the industry from engaging with the institute. Now we know that when we talk in terms of the infrastructure which is available with the institutes, we know that there are many institutes who are not taking care of the infrastructure, or who are not bothered about giving the best infrastructure facilities to their students. And then when an industry wants to do some work with the institute, we fail in giving them whatever minimum infrastructure is required from our side. So this is also one of the areas where it causes for poor interaction with the industry. So these are few of the points which I've just jotted down. Probably there may be many which you may be also having in your mind. Maybe during the question answer session, I would like to hear more from your side also, which which can be of use for me to add more points in this slide also. Then moving ahead, just a minute, this slide has hung. Yeah. Then the most important thing, lack of work recognition in the institutes. We have seen many times that the work which is done, wonderful work which is done by many of the teachers, is not being recognized in the institutions. It is there because there are rigid rules and regulations, and there is lack of autonomy also. And probably the new education policy is talking that by 2035, almost all the institutes will be in the autonomous mode, because when we go in for the autonomy status, will not be affiliated, and then whatever issues which we are facing now may be resolved, and then the institutes can have their own rules and regulations which may help the faculties to see to it that there will be more interaction, or they'll be having more time to spend with the industry also. Then again, it is not only that there is a poor response from the institute side. Many times we see that there is a very passive response from industries regarding the assessment procedures of the students. The industry is also not showing many times an interest. They are not proactively approaching, or they are not proactively, because many times it happens that yes, the institutes are approaching the industry, but many a times it is observed that the industry also do not respond, and they also are reluctant to spend time with the institute. Then next is goals and objectives of the education system and the industrial system do not match fully. Again, this is one of the problems, because the objectives and goals of the education institutes are something different. The industry has something different to be said, and both of them are not on the same platform. But now again, as I said that because of this new education policy, certain policies are going to come into picture, where the government is also seeing that the industry is spending sufficient time, they are providing the resources, they are also helping as mentors to the educational institutes, and this has started happening in many cases. So I think that once both of us are on the same goals and objectives, probably it will again help us in strengthening the relations. Then both the systems have not fully realized about the problem of interaction and partnership. Again, we have not finally, as I mentioned, that both of us are blaming each other, and we haven't come at the exact problem as to why we are failing in interaction and partnership also. So this also needs to give an attention, where the issues should be discussed, and then the solution should be provided from both the sides. And important thing, as I said, that the government does not give guidelines regarding interaction and partnership between the industry and institute. So one more important thing is that the government should also play a very important role, because as I said that for the building of any nation, both the institute and industry are of immense importance, because they are going to help in improving the overall GDP and of the any nation for that matter, and it is going to help to take that nation ahead. So this is very important, and so these are some of the issues which we have faced while seeing to it that why we are failing to interact with the industry. Now let us move on to the modes of interaction. That how or what are the different modes of interaction. Now the first is institute to industry. So how we can interact with the industry, or how the institute can uh, interact with the industry. The very first thing which all of us are doing currently is that we do have the industrial tour of our students, and we know that if we take our students to the industry, it gives them a very good experience of how the organizations or how the industry is working. So this is the first point. Second thing is that practical training, student internship. As I said that if the students are given the scope of internship, they are going to get a very good exposure. Then students project in the industry. Now again, as I said that this is also one of the modes that one thing what I would like to mention over here is that all the institute should see to it that they are approaching their local industry and trying to see to it that if there are any local problems, it should be identified by the teachers and it should be taken up as a project, so the students can get a scope for carrying out their projects with the help of the industry. So this is the third point, that the institute can approach the industry for the students project, which as I said that many of the industries are doing. So this also can help because when there is an industry sponsored project, so automatically the teacher, the project guide, and the any person who is coordinating for that project from the industry is going to interact, and this interaction further leads to some good further projects or maybe even consultancy projects. Then teacher deputation to industry. This is a very important thing because teachers should spend the 2 months of vacation in the industry. This is what has been proposed. Many institutes have taken note and they have made it mandatory. Even in our institute, I would like to brief, which may be taken note of. In our institute, we have something called as the iConnect program, where we have made it mandatory for all our teachers to connect with at least one industry. I'm again underlining that we have made it mandatory for our teachers to at least connect with one industry, so that teacher actually finds out the industry, he or she signs an MOU with the industry, and the MOU which is being signed for that industry is for various purposes, and the purposes may be for, as I said, it can be for internships, it can be for placements, it can be for the industrial tours, it can be for consultancy, it can be for expert lectures. So these are the things which in our institute we have made it a practice, and I'm very proud to say that all the teachers, we have currently 125 teachers in our institute, and all of them have signed an MOU, and the MOUs are working MOUs. They are not only on for the sake of paper, they have generated some outcome. And surely I just want to mention that the work which we have been doing in our second NAC cycle, we are with a grade of NAC A plus with a score of 3.40, because such activities which we have done has surely helped us. And I'm sure that those participants who have gathered over here, this can be an input to them as to how they can improve upon the industry institute relationship, which is going to help in overall improving the grades. But improving grades is not only the issue. The end issue is that we should be able to give back to our students, because quality education will not come without the role of the industry in the institute. Then the teacher is required, and as I said that even during the vacation, we have made it mandatory that our teachers should visit the industry at least for a week. We are not saying that they should spend their 2 months, because we know that during the vacation they also have the other issues like catering to the examinations, and other administrative works are also there. So we are saying that at least the teacher should get or undergo a training in the industry, and that should be minimum for at least 3 to 6 days, which is going to help. And it has really helped a lot. As I said that just to give you again an input from our electrical department, as I said that we are having the consultancy, and one of the industry sponsored rupees 25 lakhs. It was only because of the teacher interacting with the industry constantly. Then again, there is an example from Emerson and Forbes Marshall. It was only purely because of the interaction of our teachers with them. They sponsored the entire labs of 50 lakh each. So these are some of the outcomes. Probably if the teachers start interacting with the industry on regular basis, the industry is also there and ready to help us. So these are some of the examples which I thought I should cite over here, just to motivate those participants. Yeah, then the teacher is required to work on a particular project at the company, return with a report to the institute, and give a seminar. We have also been doing that. As I said that it's not only consultancy, but many of our teachers are also taking projects from the industry, and they have given a solution. I just want to cite over here, probably many of you may be knowing Vishay Components. It was previously known as Philips India Components, and they came to us because since we were having a good rapport with them, they had given us 7 live problems, and I'm happy to say that our teachers and students resolved those problems. And it was only because that there was an interaction with them, we could get their problems. And as I said that we have very good, it's not only in our institute, but there are various very good institutes with very good teachers having expertise. But there is a lack, as I said, that we are not approaching the industry, because the industry also requires our help, and probably if we approach them, it is surely going to help both of us. The next mode of software interaction is that industry to institute. So now how the industry is going to interact with the institute. So it can be through delegate people to the Institute for Higher Education. As I said that many industries have started sending their experts to institutes for delivering expert lectures, for conducting trainings, for conducting workshops, or maybe even for mentors. I would like to again cite an example. In our institute, we have mentors coming from the industry. they sit with our students, they guide them in all the possible ways, and as I said that it has really helped us in improving our placements also. Today I'm very proud to say that the placement of our institute is more than 80%, and it is only pure because that the practice of our teachers interacting with the industry has helped us a lot. Then continuing education of the staff must be a continuing activity of any progressive industry. So the industry can come to the institute where they can sponsor their staff for maybe higher education or maybe even for trainings. Again, to cite, our institute, our departments have also carried out many trainings for the small scale industries, and it is surely possible for all the institutes because, as I said, that we have very good teachers who are expert in their own domain, and at the same time, even the industry is in need of very good trainers. So this is also possible. Then assign institute with consultancy jobs. As I said that if you are having a connect with the industry can approach the institutes for carrying out the consultancy. And as I said that we are happy that in the last 3 years we have been doing a very good consultancy of almost more than 15 lakhs. In a similar way, even our pharmacy college is doing a wonderful job in providing consultancy to many industries. So in a similar way, I feel that most of the institutes, we do have the expertise, and the only thing is that there must be an interaction. Then industry sponsored short-term courses or depute industry staff in institute. So the industry can also send their teachers for many workshops which we are carrying, because the institutes, as we know that we are always carrying out workshops of the latest trends and technologies. So the industries can depute their faculty members, because it will also help them in the refreshing their knowledge, or maybe it will help them add to their knowledge. Then the resource persons from industry to the institute, the industry can also send adjunct faculty from the industry or expert lectures, as I said, from the senior industry panel. So this is the way in which the industry can interact with the institute. So first we saw how the institute can interact with the industry. In this slide, we have seen how the industry can interact with the institute. Now let us move on to the next slide, where sorry. Now then, this slide talks about the joint efforts from the industry and institute. So again, we are saying that there should be interaction, but there should be also joint efforts. The industry and institute should come together, and when they are coming together, the joint efforts, we can have conducting of training awareness programs for both the industry and institute personnel in collaboration. It can be organization of symposiums, seminars, educational programs for business and academic personnels. It can be for any social responsibility. Both of us can come together and take over some social responsibility, because as I said that both of us are responsible to the society. Then industry institute merger, adaptation of institutes, programs by industry. So these are few of the points where the industry and institute can have joint efforts. So let us move on to the further slide, where I have jotted down the benefits of the industry institute interaction. The first is, what are the benefits to the institute? Now I'll be going one by one. First, I'll be discussing the benefits to the institute, then I'll be discussing the benefits to the industry, then I'll be discussing the benefits to the faculty members, then I'll be discussing the benefits to the students, and then I'll be discussing the benefits to the nation as a whole, because everybody is going to be benefited with this interactions which we are going to have. Now let us see what are the benefits to the institute. So naturally, increased production of resources, naturally, because as I said that if we are going to have an interaction with the institute, it is going to help in production, increased production of the resources, improved quality of faculty, because if the faculty is going to be trained or interacting with the industry, it is going to improve the teaching quality of the faculty. It is going to upgrade him also. It will be more relevant curriculums will be there, because we know that today the industry is saying that your curriculum is not up to the mark. But if we keep on interacting and getting inputs from the industry, surely the curriculums which will be framed will be of relevant quality, And for that purpose also, as I mentioned that in the national education policy, when the policy is talking about that the institute should become autonomous, and when we become autonomous, there is an academic autonomy where the academic institutes will be having flexibility in framing their own structure, curricula, and evaluation of the system. So it will be more relevant that if we have a good connect with the industry. So it will be more relevant to the curriculum, better student placement, and improved use of expertise. So these are a few of the points where the institute will be getting benefit if they are interacting with the industry. Let us move on to the second point. Let us see what are the benefits to the industry also, because it is not one-way traffic. As I said that both the parties are going to get benefit. The benefits to the industry is that it may have access to the most recent management and technical advancement. As I said that in teaching, we have very good teachers who are expert in their own field, and we know that in many of the foreign countries, the research is happening in the institutes, and then the research goes to the industry. And similarly, even in India, we should be feeling proud that yes, currently the trend has started that many of the industries, many of the institutes have taken initiatives, and they're working on very good ideas, and these ideas now are being taken up by the industry. These startup policies and the incubators has really helped in having this area also. Then industry can keep their workforce updated in terms of the skills and knowledge through refresher course and other training programs conducted by the institute. As I mentioned previously that the institutes are capable of giving the trainings to the persons from the industry in terms of the refresher course, or as I said that the programs can be also conducted for the advanced skills also, because then from the industry side, it will save their resources, because they may then not have to set up a separate training center, which will also save their manpower, which may again save their money. And it is going to help the institute in the other ways, because the institutes will be surely looking from the point of view of generation of funds through the training programs, and it will also help the faculty members to upgrade themselves, because if they have to teach to the industry, the faculty should be of that quality. So, and it is finally the benefit will be to the students, because when a faculty is preparing him or herself with the advancement of knowledge for the industry, surely is also going to give the same knowledge to his students also. Then for the industry, it is going to have an access to the young and technically skilled workers. Then industry can get their research work done through institutions and save cost on R&D. As I truly mentioned that many of the institutes, even I am proud to say that even our pharmacy college where we are sitting today has done a lot of good work in their pharmaceutical field, and they have helped the industry in providing the solutions also to them. And then the collaborative research opportunities will be also there, because so these are the benefits to the industry as a whole. Now let us move on to the benefits to the faculty. I've just mentioned two, but there can be n number of benefits to the faculty members, which during the question and answer session, I would like the inputs from the faculty, because I know that all the faculties who have joined over here, they are surely having certain inputs based on this industry institute interaction. So as I mentioned initially that these points are only based on the experience which I have throughout my teaching experience. To the faculty, how the industry institute interaction is going to benefit is it gives good understanding of the industry and helps in building up of useful case studies for improving the quality of future teaching. It is natural that when the faculty is going to interact with the industry, he is going to know what are the latest trends going on in the industry. It is going to, if he gets a training from the industry, it is going to surely help build the skills, and these case studies can be helpful for him to improve his quality of teaching. And then it also provides an ability to identify research programs of industrial importance, because if the faculty, as I mentioned, that if he is often visiting the industry, surely the industry do have certain problems, and if we are approaching them, naturally the industry is going to give these problems, research problems. So these research problems can be beneficial to the faculty for maybe advancement in their career if they are going to carry out their PhD programs, or it can be otherwise helpful in taking the students project or maybe for consultancy also. So these are the ways how the industry institute interaction is going to benefit the faculty at a large. Then let us move how it is going to be beneficial to the student. So the ultimate what we are doing is that it should be for the student, because everything what we are doing in the institutes is should be benefited to the students. And we, as I said, that we are talking today about the outcome based education. And then what is the outcome of the industry institute interaction? So the outcome should be in terms of the benefit to the students. So how it will be benefiting to the students? So the students are going to gain a real life experience if they work with the industry. They are going to get how the theoretical knowledge should be applied. So application of the theoretical knowledge. Then it is also going to enhance their oral and written skills, because if they visit the industry, they will be asked to write the reports, they'll be asked to write white papers, they'll be asked to write the documentation of whatever work they are doing. Then decision making on career choices. It is also going to help the students as to what career they should choose. Then it is also going to provide them with paid pre-employment on studies training, because now many organizations have started with internships, and even they are paying the students while they are doing their internship, because it is as good as they're getting um, a man force for their work. Then gaining access to sophisticated instrumentation, because the students, because we know that it is not possible for the institutes to have all the high-end equipments in their institutes, but if the students because if there is an industry institute interaction, the students will get an opportunity to gain access to the sophisticated instruments which are the current or the latest trends going on in the industry, and understanding the work culture of the industry. This is very, very important, because I just want to mention over here how it has benefited our institute. Even before the IICT mentioned about the internship program, since last 8 years in our institute, we had made it mandatory for our students to go in for internship, and that was made mandatory for all the students going from third year to B. And we had kept it mandatory that the students should visit for 15 days, and another 15 days we used to extend. So at least the students used to get an access to the industry for 1 month, and all these benefits which I have talked over here really helped, and it actually helped in improving the placement of our institute as a whole. Because finally, if the students understands what is the need of the industry, so then and then only he'll be preparing himself accordingly. And if a student prepares himself for the industry, then we can say that he has become industry ready, and then the industry readily accepts him. Then there is no need that the industry should say that your students are not up to the mark. So if you happen to see our placement, it has tremendously increased, and this is also one of the points which I should highlight, that our making mandatory students visit the industry has given them all these inputs, and the outcome is that the students placement has increased tremendously. Then what are the benefits to the nation? uh, Initially, when I began, I said that both the industry and institute are equally going to contribute to the nation's building. So what are the effects? So effective exploitation of national resources, abilities and expertise, greater efforts at self-reliance and indigenous. Today we know that the government has got very good policies, and their emphasizes purely on indigenization of the products, because we know that the government is wanting to reduce the imports. And surely if our industry is made to work, if they are giving the opportunities, and this is only possible if both the industry and the institute interact, or if they work collaboratively, then and then only we are going to produce indigenous good, which is also going to help the nation as a whole. And then greater financial support to institutions and R&D organizations, greater employment of R&D personals, generating sense of pride in the nations among Indians all over the world by providing excellent research funding. So for the nation also, as I mentioned, that if the industry and institute have very good interactions, it is also going to lead to all these things. Then let us proceed further. Which are the different platforms for the industry institute interaction? Probably all of you may be knowing, but I'm just repeating this. The very first platform is that we can have the industry persons on the governing bodies of our institute. Probably it is a mandate now, and almost all the institutes may be having persons from the industry, but see to it that the uh, persons from the industry are actively involved in the decisions of the governing body. So it is going to surely help all of us. Then they can be members of the board of studies. So the issue which we are talking, that the industry demands that the contents of the curriculum should be as per the need of the industry. So if the industry persons are on the board of studies, it is going to help. So this is a platform for industry that we can have industry persons on the board of studies. Then chief guests, keynote speakers, invitees, guest lectures, social outreach program. All of us know that it is mandatory for the corporates to have their funds under the corporate social responsibility, and both of us can work together for the common cause where the funds can be utilized properly. Then placement activities is a must. Alumni association and alumni meet, because we know that all our alumni are now in the industry. So we should have that platform, or rather this platform will also help in increasing the industry institute interaction. One more thing I just want to suggest over here is that we know that all our alumni are placed or they are entrepreneurs. So try to see to it that we are having a very good connect. So the thing which I am trying to say, that our teachers should be connected with the industry. So even if you identify your alumni who are in good positions, this will also help in making or strengthening the bonds of your institute with the industry, because surely our alumni are ready to help the institutes. And then it can be through the professional bodies, because we know we can the professional bodies, if there are industry persons on the professional bodies, it can also help. Then one more thing is library services, because we know that all the educational institutes do have very good library resources, and if we make our library resources open to the industry, probably this can be also one of the platforms which we can bring the industry to the institute. So these are probably few of the points which I thought should be discussed, because these are the platforms which will make the industry come to the institute, or it will give us a platform for interacting with them. Now I have jotted down again some suggestions for better cooperation between the industry and institute. Probably we have discussed all of them, but I have just, to summarize the entire thing, I have just again jotted them once again. So the first suggestion is that there should be an academic and administrative autonomy should be granted to the institutes. Then memorandum of understandings with the industry should be signed. Institute should provide with adequate transport facility, infrastructure, and secretarial support for carrying out these activities, because many times it happens that the institutes are not ready to support their, because as I said that there are many faculties who would like to interact with the industry, but again there are constraints from the institute side. So this is a suggestion that the institute should provide these facilities to the teachers who would like to interact. I just want to cite that when our teachers are doing the trainings during the summer vacation, we are providing them with the earned leave also. So such roles if the institute plays, this will help motivate the faculty members to reach out to the industry also. Then industrial training for students should be made compulsory for about 1 month in a year, which I said. So this is our, from our experience. So these points, as I said, that these are whatever we are doing at our institute. I have just thought that I should again summarize with this suggestions. Then sufficient funds for taking up industrial projects should be provided to the institution. So the institution should also provide certain funds when the students are working on projects, or if the teachers are working on the industrial projects, because it is not possible that without the institute spending some funds, the interactions cannot be strengthened. I just want to give an example that when the as I said, that Emerson Force Marshal or Madhav capacitors, when they gave us funds for the lab, even I'm very proud to say that our AISSMS management equally provided more amount of funds to see to it that those labs were made up to the mark. And today we are proud that that along with the industry funds, same amount of funds were being spent by our management. So the institute should also see to it that sufficient funds are being provided for this activity. The next is the course curriculum should be designed as per the job profile. Then curriculum revision has to be commensurate with the requirements of the present and new emerging technological demands. Then adequate lab facilities should be created and utilized, has to be assured, because okay, we may be providing very good lab facilities, but if they are not made known to the industry, then it is of no use. So for this, if there is a interaction of the teachers with the industry, then and then only whatever good the institute is having with them, it can be made known to the industry. So this is one of the areas of immense importance, that if you have good labs or good equipments, latest state of the art, because we know that there are many small and medium scale industries which cannot afford the state of the art equipments, but they need them. So if your institutes are having such type of equipments and resources, you can share them with the industry. So this can bring you the revenue generation also and an interaction. Then teachers should be sent to the industry for practical training for a short period. This, as I already mentioned, benefits in appointing and promotions are given to teachers with good work in industry. Now the institute should also take care that those teachers who are having a very good rapport and carrying out a very good work in unison with the industry, benefits should be given them with some promotions and other benefits to the teachers also. Then institute should identify the problems of the industry around in its neighborhood and should solve its problem in all students. I also gave you this example. Institute should involve in R&D work and should take projects from established industry for updating its technology. I hope that many of our institutes are doing. Just to mention, in our institute, we are taking projects of NCL, or for that matter, IMD, or for that matter, for many industry also, our students and teachers are taking up the project. So it is helping us to have a good interaction with those industry. An institute should provide information to the industry about the facilities which I talked about. It has been just repeated again. Then students should be encouraged to undertake the final year projects in industry. Experts from industry should be invited by the industry regular to share their practical knowledge with the faculty and students. So these were some of the inputs which I thought I should share with you, with the experience which I have gathered in. So with this, I hope I've elaborated on this point, which is finally going to lead towards the quality, sustenance, and quality improvement of the higher education institutes. So now I'm open for any questions if you have in your mind. Madam, we can make the session open. And if the participants are having the questions, let them ask. So I'll be answering the questions. Gandhi sir.
Yes, sir. Reshma madam, can you take the questions?
If any participants have questions,
Yes,
they can
I have
directly,
few
you can
questions,
unmute them
in the
or
chat box.
they can type in the chat box. I can answer those questions.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We are open to few of the questions. I have few questions in the chat box. Amruta ma'am wants to know whether how we can increase the library services share with the industry. Can you just highlight in detail?
Yes,
about
yes. Now we can have this as a community service where we can forward the collection or catalog of books which we are having to the local industries. So probably what happens is that many of the industries, they cannot or they, as I said, the small scale and the medium scale industries, when they're working on certain areas, they may not be having access to the let us say journals, because the journals are costly. So if we make them know that these are the resources available in the library and give them an open access, surely the local industry may want to get those resources from us. Because we know that almost all the institutes, we are subscribing to the international journals, and in the international journals, all the latest technologies and trends are being discussed, or even we have good reference books where if certain industries are working on something, they can have an access to it through our institutes.
Thank you, sir.
But we should,
sir,
but from our side, the catalog or the contents, what we have should be circulated to the local industry. And we should say that we have an open access, or if you have certain MOUs with the industries, you can also tell them these, you can use our library facility whenever you require it to be used.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you also mentioned about some databases which we can create.
Yeah.
And there are certain platforms for the database. So where can we get the information regarding basically the government which you mentioned?
Yeah,
to have the data?
now we know that the Maratha Chamber of Commerce or CII, they have the database from the industry. It is available with them. So it is in the form of soft copies or hard copies also. Now, what is happening is that our database is with our technical, our database, the institute's database is with the universities or with the Director of Technical Education. But what is being happening currently is that both these databases are not made available at a common point. It is only through the CII and AICT initiative, which probably we are participating every year. But it has become difficult. But I think that these steps have been taken in making or creating the common databases, because individual databases are available, but they should be common. So common databases should be there for which the government should take some initiative. And I said that in some parts, but it is not the entire database, madam.
One more question we have: what groundwork should be done by institutes to become ready for the NEP, new education policies?
Yeah, for the first thing is that I think the university, the Director of Technical Education, UGC, all of them has asked us to make awareness programs about the NEP. So I hope that almost all the teachers should read the policy at least once, because the policy mentions a lot of things. And I just want to mention that it is only a 60-page policy. And even for those who are from Maharashtra, the Maharashtra state has also come out with their own policy, which was headed by Dr. Mashelkar. So that draft has also come. So we should read it. The pages are not that much. And I should mention over here one point is that we in the higher educations, most of the points which are covered in the national education policy, we have started following all of them by default. So, and there are n number of videos also available on YouTube, or better way that each teacher should read the policy. It is hardly 60 pages, which will give you an insight of what the policy says. Or they can, or you can listen to or see the videos available on the YouTube.
May I disturb Reshma madam?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Mane sir, can you throw light on any provisions which has been made in NEP, National Education Policy, to strengthen the industry institute interactions or make the students ready for the industry?
Yeah, as I mentioned in my second slide, if you go, the policy has been talking about these things in those sections. So the policy mentions that we have to have an interaction. So if you look, so if you read the policy, these are the sub points. So if you look at over here, so the need for industry interaction has been mentioned in the 11.8, 11.12, 16.6, 7.17.9 and 20.6. So the policy has been saying that where all the industry institute interaction is required. So first they are saying that for holistic development, we have to interact, that is for internships and other things. Then second, they are saying that there should be linkages for the startup incubation centers. Then they are saying for vocational education. Then they are saying we should have for common research projects. So these are the areas which the policy talks about. And as I said that in higher education, at least we have started following all these points.
My second question, sir, it is related to for some of the purchase of equipments, university provides the fund, or sometimes DST, AICT also provides the funds.
Yes.
But while giving the funds, we give them in writing that this will be strictly utilized for the institute purpose or research purpose at the college.
Yeah.
It will not be used for commercial purpose, or will not generate any funds from that.
Okay.
Like that, we provide them the consent. But in contrast to that, the many agencies or the many these accreditation bodies says that provide the consultancies,
Yes.
generate the funds. So
Now,
can you
sir,
say something about this?
yeah, as you rightly say, there is a contradiction between these two things. But as far as that goes, then maybe the funds which we get, we can give free consultancy for those items which we have purchased through those funds. And for the remaining things, where we have our own funds given by the management, for there we can have the charges and other things. Because you rightly pointed out, there is a contradiction between these 2 points. They are giving us the funds, but they are taking an undertaking that will not use it for commercialization. So probably we may have to bring this to their notice that you are providing us the funds, we are purchasing the state of the art equipment, but if it only remains with us, it will be not of any use to the society as a large and to the nation as a whole.
I think Principal Madam has something to say.
Yes, madam.
Madam.
Same on the same ground, Gandhi, he had asked a question just now regarding the funds. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, madam.
So, but in that case, even the equipment which we purchased from the management, that is okay. That is, we can use for the public use or for that. But in case of the equipments, even we take help from the university or for any concession like we take, but the cost of the actually, you can say the particular type of the, for example, in our case, like discs are required or the some material. So we can charge for that, no, sir?
Yeah, we can charge for that. If the consumables are there, which are required,
consumables are there. So
we can charge that.
So even if we use from the means sponsored, it is.
Because those consumables they are not giving us throughout, na. Because
yes.
After that, if consumables are required, then we have to charge if you are giving something to the industry based on those consumables which may be used on that equipment.
Yes.
We may not be charging for the for that use of equipment, but for use of those consumables required to be worked on that equipment can be charged, madam.
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Reshma, madam.
Sir, you also mentioned about having some social type of interaction between the industry or for social cause.
Yeah.
Can you highlight on this point?
Yeah, as I said that the industries have the funds under the corporate social responsibility, where as you know that if they have a turnover above something 100 crores, they're supposed to spend some 5% or something. And usually what they do is that they're doing social work. They're spending something on the most of the most of the industries. What we have seen is that they are spending the CSR funds for upgrading of the rural educational institutes. So probably if they take us into consideration, if they take our help, since we being in the educational field, we will be able to guide them in a much better way to how those funds can be properly utilized if they want to spend, or maybe for certain other activities also when it comes to when we talk about the environment, because one of the points about the SDG is about environment also. So creating awareness or maybe creating. So in this also, both of us can work together for achieving that, the climate change part, the sustainability issues. So over here we can work together, madam, for the social concerns. Because the first slide, if you look at the 17, the agenda 2030, no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality. So over we are doing clean water sanitization, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequality, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace and. So in most of these goals, the institute can help them if they are going to spend on certain things, because we can play a role of maybe providing them with the experts which we have, or if they want certain awareness to be created, we have the resources with us, we have the students in form of resources if they certain things are to be carried out, or as I said that we have very good researchers who are doing some research work. So in this way, on common points, we can come together and work on this sustainable development goals also, madam.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering all the queries. I think there are no more queries here.
Yeah.
Sir has very nicely elaborated on industry-institute interaction. He has explained how we can well establish the linkages, overcome the gap between industry institute through some consultancy, create our databases, what are the different causes for poor interaction, and how we can develop this interaction by using all the different modes of interaction. Sir also talked about what joint efforts both from industry and from the institute need to be taken, which would benefit not only the industry and the institute, very importantly, the students, and at the most, the nation. So everything for the nation cause. He also suggested about the platforms which are available to have all these interactions with the industry. We are very much thankful to you, sir, for elaborating all these points. And you are here in person to the college to explain all these things. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam, once again for giving me this opportunity to be with all of you and share some of my experiences. I'm sure that whatever I've spoken, as I already mentioned, that we all are doing all these things, but it can be just a refresher thing, or maybe certain inputs may be of use to all of them who might have been knowing it, but they may not be knowing the path as to how they can go in or get the effect of it. So thank you once again for giving me this opportunity, man. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we request you to accept our certificate from our side.
Thank you,
Thank you so much. May I request Kalyani madam to take over the session?
Yes, sir.
I request the next speaker, Dr. Suhasini Arya, madam, to please put on your video and audio. Dr. Suhasini Arya, I request you to put on your video and audio.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Please put on your video. Cannot see you, ma'am. Need to just adjust the camera. Yes, ma'am. On behalf of AISSMS College of Pharmacy, I would like to welcome our next speaker, Dr. Suhasini Arya. Welcome, ma'am. This webinar.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
It gives us immense pleasure to introduce.
It's okay now?
Yes, very much fine, ma'am. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our next speaker for today, Dr. Suhasini Arya. She has completed her MA, MPhil, and PhD in commerce and has a rich academic experience of 37 years. Presently, Dr. Arya is working as a director at Srimati K.G. Mittal College of Arts and Commerce, Mumbai. Madam is selected as a member of Swachhata Ranking Committee by UGC, and she is a trained NAC assessor. She has worked as a LIC member, chairperson on behalf of University of Mumbai for approval of courses and new institutions. Madam is also associated with various colleges as a member of Advisory Committee, Research Committee, and College Development Committee. Dr. Arya is highly committed to community service for the upliftment of slum women and children. She has organized seminars on gender diversity, health talks for women, nutrition program, counseling students, arranging medical camps, community literacy programs, anti-dowry movement, and many more such activities. Madam has also organized international seminars, published research papers in peer-reviewed journals, authored books, and presented papers in various national and international conferences. As a token of appreciation for her service in the field of education and community service, Madam was bestowed with Man Patra Award by Mayor of Mumbai on behalf of Greater Mumbai Municipal Corporation. With this very inspiring introduction, I now request Dr. Arya to kindly begin with her talk on implementing quality improvements in HEIs, the need of the hour. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everybody. My regards to Dr. Principal Ashwini Muglekar, my co-speakers, Dr. Bapu Jatkale, Avinash Karat, Heblata Bagle, then IQAC coordinators, Dr. Damle, Dr. S.V. Gandhi, Mrs. A.N. Avaliskar, then all the teachers, participants, and organizers of this seminar. I am here to talk on the need for quality enhancement and quality sustenance in higher education institutions, the need of the hour. I have decided to take up this topic because I was thinking that I will be on a very different platform, that is pharmacy college you have, and I am totally with the arts and commerce college. Then I thought, let me talk something very general, because technicalities of pharmacy college, the setup and everything, I must know before I speak relevant to the, like particular field, say for example, about the pharmacy college only. So I have taken, this is the reason for taking this very general, topic for quality education. And again, I also felt that really it is a matter of concern that we have to upgrade ourselves. The full Indian education system needs an overhaul and revamping, and which is, MEP 2020, it is stressed that, our education system to be, at par with the international standards. And that is true, and it is applicable to all the institutes, all pharmacy, medicine, IITs, all high quality institutes as well, each and every institute of higher education. It is very important. I would like to please, I have to share the, sorry.
Yes, ma'am, I have given you the presenter rights. You can share your.
Okay, can you see? Can you see my slides?
Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet. Okay, I'll call my. Manoj. Just a minute.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
हेमंत को बुलाओ. हेमंत. Before, Miss, I would like to continue anyway. See, Swami Vivekanand, I would like to quote him. He said, "A nation is advanced in proportion to education and intelligence spread among the masses." Very truly. ये वाली है नहीं, छोटी है नहीं. हाँ. इसको करना. Can you see, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible. Ma'am, could you please make it in slideshow mode? Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, let me say that, as I said, quality education is important. It is the need of the hour. And Swami Vivekanand, he said, "A nation is advanced in proportion to education and intelligence spread amongst the masses." And quality education is important because, the youths who are taking up education in higher educational institutions, they are the human capital of the country. and they are to be well qualified with the skills, knowledge, abilities, creativity, so that they can be a very good workforce for the country, and they would contribute towards the advancement of economic growth in terms of technology, in terms of resources, whether it is the material resources, infrastructural resources, educational resources, etc. And therefore, the quality is very important for the economic growth and economic development of the country. And it is truly said by Swami Vivekananda that educate and raise the masses and thus nurture the nation. Knowledge and human capital. Youth workforce is human capital, and therefore, as I said, that the knowledge, skills, creative abilities, and the level of moral values should be raised in them. And like all these four elements, that is level of knowledge, level of skill, level of creative abilities, level of moral values, etc., should be imparted through education to our youth force. Now, quality in education should be bought. See, NEP 2020 focuses on holistic development of the students. What is the holistic development of the student? It is not only their marks, or like in particular subject they should be having a very good knowledge. It is not enough. They should be their development should be in the terms of social, emotional, mental, physical, and cognitive development, irrespective of gender, caste, race, ethnicity, and geographic location also. Quality in higher education institutes is the need of the hour. Why? Why it is need of the hour? Because as you all know that quality reforms the entire economy. Quality workforce will bring our economy to the very high level at the international level in terms of technology, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of GDP, national income, etc. If we look at the total scenario of the higher education in India, we will find that it does not match with the global quality standards. That is why we find that large number of students for higher education institutions are migrating to foreign countries. Recently, I have been seeing this, even, like for past 5 years, the large number of students, see, look at the transcripts issued by the colleges are larger in number. If you look at the graph compared to, like past 15 years, in last 5 years, the graph is going up. Whether it is engineering students, pharmacy students, BCom, ordinary BCom students, BMS, BAF, arts students, they are all migrating to abroad, foreign countries for higher studies. What is the reason? They feel that, the job opportunities are better there. And again, the quality of teaching is better. The curriculum imparted is well matching with the industries and the employment sector. And many universities, like they promise them the vacation jobs along with the studies. And, they are able to meet their educational expenses and other expenses abroad by working during the vacations. And therefore, a large number of students are migrating there. In India, I can see large number of students, I would say that in MBA, you will find that good number of engineering students are doing MBA. It is good they are doing MBA, but in many cases, those who are needy students, they are not getting the very good job, and the payment offered to them is very less. For example, in India, they would be getting 50,000 per month, whereas in abroad, in many of the countries, we find that immediately they get the double or triple amount immediately after completing their education. What is the reason? Because, they are sent for the internship. Their curriculum is, online and offline campus experiential teaching, and university college tie-ups are very strong. abroad. And that is how they are able to match with the industry needs also, and they are able to get the job. And therefore, I feel there is very important, it is very important that we must have the complete overhaul of our education system. The quality is to be raised. I would not say that our quality is poor, but it has to match with the international standard. And, we have to provide jobs to the student. That is very important. And as you see today, we are talking about instead of doing the job, we must create the job. That is a really very good, concept wherein the students should be trained so that they can set up their own this thing industry. That is entrepreneurial development among the students should also be a part of education in all whatever streams they have taken up. They should be prepared to set up their own industry and that is why, very often with the MSMEs, we should have, education institutions should have tie up with the MSMEs. Very often the guest lectures from the MSMEs, we should arrange so that the students get to know about the environment and they should know how, they can get themselves trained and they can become the entrepreneurs. In our country, what is the strength? What is the strength in our country? The strength, what is the strength of our country? Sorry. The strength of our country is that though we are, people say that we are among the, the developing countries and all. But I would say that we are one of the emerging countries in the world. And today, we are having the largest workforce in the world. That is the students aged between 18 to 23. Our young workforce is very large, huge workforce we are having, which is the capital of our country. Once upon a time, we would talk, and today also we talk that large population is a liability to the country. But I would like to say that, if this large population can be optimally utilized, if they are trained, if their quality is raised, they can serve the entire world and the productivity of the entire world can improve. And as I say that this population of 18 to 23 years, they need the quality education. And quality education, if imparted to them, then definitely our country will be #1 country in the world. And you find that today students are ready to learn, and in higher education institutions, the top colleges are very few, their number is very limited, and the demand for the seats is very high. There is a big demand supply gap, and because of that, what is happening is, they have to undergo through various competitive examinations and all, and the entry into the system is very entry into good colleges is very difficult. And we find that these students are migrating to the countries like Ukraine, China. Recently, we have been reading the news that large number of students were there in Ukraine, and due to the war, they have come back, their studies affected and all. So if we are able to increase the number of colleges, institutes for professional courses, and not only the increasing with the quality, if we set up them, definitely we will be able to retain our students, and our human capital can be retained in our own country, and the rapid economic growth. See, it is said that human capital formation will increase the capital formation of the country, which would help in the rapid economic development and rapid economic growth of the country. I would like to I would also like to say that where we are in the world today in terms of human development index. Though we are not very poor, we are the medium HDI countries. And our HDI is 132 among 191 countries. That is, there are many countries which are much ahead. Even the developing countries which are, top rankers as compared to us. Actually this human development index is calculated in terms of life expectancy at birth, then level of education in terms of mean years of schooling and expected years of schooling, then gross national income per capita. So it shows if our rank is so very low, it shows that we need to improve the life expectancy at birth, that is the health should be taken care of for the inborn child. Then the level of education has to be improved, and automatically the gross national income of the country will go up with this. And our HDI is 0.645, and it was, sorry, 0.633, and because of the corona, sorry, it was 0.6453 corona period, and it dropped to 0.633. Due to corona, you find that many students, though online teaching, everything was continued, but because of the financial problems, the poverty level in our country, large number of students had to opt out of education to support their families. And this was the reason, and many other reasons. Health also got suffered, employment opportunities were not there, unemployment was there. Now, here again, why? Again, I'm stressing that we should improve the quality of the education. We have to sustain the quality of education in our country, because it is a matter of grave concern that around 8 lakh students travel abroad for higher education every year. That is, and because they are traveling abroad, 1% of our GDP is going out. Around, if I term it into the rupees INR, 45,000 crore rupees is going out. With that money, we can set up good quality higher education institutes in our country. That is, new IITs and other institutes of, elite can be set up. But this money which we can retain, that is going out. Why? Because, we have failed to retain our students due to the, some lacuna in our education system. Similarly, you will find that 1 million students in 21, they are studying in 85 countries outside, and they move abroad for higher education, which is costing $17 billion a year, and that is a loss to our country. Now, what makes foreign education more attractive? Lack of job opportunities in our country, and therefore the students are migrating to the other countries, and many students are opting for master's courses in UK, USA, because these countries are offering them the option. Some universities are offering them the option of employment after 2 years. Similarly, many of the college, I must say that almost all the colleges, they are maintaining balance between the online and offline teaching. On campus and off campus teaching. That is, they are providing experiential teaching to them, so that, they become, employment, and they become ready for employment ready. They are sent to the industry for the internships during the vacation. It is compulsory. It's a part of the education system there. So the children become employment ready. And another thing, when the theory is taught with practicality, definitely the student understands the concepts better, and his knowledge also improves. So abroad in foreign countries, you will find that they focus more on the practicality. Then the lack of innovative courses is also drawing our young students to leave India. Innovative courses are not there in our country. And there are many courses are there, but still we need some innovations. We have very good human capital, young workforce, and this young force, this young mind of India can give money to India, contribute to the development to India. Similarly, they can also bring capital to India. They can bring money and wealth from outside to India for its to add to the economic growth of the country. Therefore, what we require, we need to create an environment in which innovation is important. Innovation should be encouraged so that we can prevent migration of innovators. Innovation is very necessary. You find that we are spending, it's very sad to note that our expenditure on research and development is only 0.7%. For past 10 years, it has remained the same. Whereas, other countries, they are having good, like better expenditure on the research and development. For example, I've taken two countries, Brazil 1.16%, South Africa 0.83%. And there are other countries also which have better than, they spend better on research and expenditure as compared to our country. Our gross expenditure per capita on research and development is $43 per capita, which is very less. It should be raised to somewhere, at least more than $200 per capita. For the rapid economic development, it is important. And research and development, if we spend, the education becomes innovative. And the expenditure on education is just 3.1%. And again, it also remains stagnant. And the present government is planning to focus more on the expenditure on education. And that is why we are talking about the new education policy. We have big dreams that the new education policy 2020 is going to bring drastic changes in the education sector of our country. And we will be able to retain the students going abroad. That is the young manpower, young minds will be retained. I would say that these young minds who are going abroad, they are creating the brain drain for us. In 2021, 1,11,287 Indians, they gave up their citizenship. Why do they give up their citizenship? Because the poor living standard, poor cost of living in the country, poor environment, and poor working conditions, and many more things are there. I must say that it is improving. Day by day, there is an improvement in the working conditions, working environment. Young minds are getting better than what we were earning at that age. But still, we have to be in this race little bit faster to match the others so that our brain remains in our country. These are the reasons for why, they are going abroad. Quality enhancement and sustenance. To achieve various goals for improving quality education, NAC Bengaluru proposes to establish IQAC, which will work for the quality enhancement and quality sustenance of higher educational institutions. IQAC plays a very important role in all HEIs. As you know that it is important, it is mandatory that all education institutions should have IQAC, and this IQAC works for the enhancement, and only quality enhancement is not sufficient. Quality sustenance is also very important. What is quality enhancement in education? We say that we are having very good infrastructure. Our college result is good, and that's why the college becomes the. It is not that because you have a very good infrastructure or very good result, the college quality can be good. Quality is a relative concept, and quality is a never-ending concept, I will say. And therefore, what is it? Quality is a continuous improvement. It is a continuous process of improvement, and in that process, we should maintain the attributes of the students, knowledge, abilities, skill, and potential of the learners. And again, let me tell you, with the changing environment, with the changing social and economic development, there need to be, changes in the curriculum. There need to be changes in the teaching methods, as we see that today the corona has taught us a lesson that we have to go for the online teaching. Now, many educational institutions have taken up hybrid teaching. Hybrid in the sense, it may see hybrid online. The teacher is available to the students Even during the after the lectures, after the duty hours also, there are certain students who are needy, who are working, and they are not able to give full time attendance to the college. And sometimes some students, they are slow learners and they require more intensive coaching. So in that case, teachers take up, like hybrid teaching. They conduct their offline classes in the college after completing the duties. They are also solving the difficulties of the students, giving them intensive coaching by making them available during the online. This is what the India is, India has Indian teachers have learned, and this is one step ahead to bring equality and enhance the knowledge ability of the students, and um, exploit the potential of learners. The teachers are contributing, and I must say that I appreciate the teachers that they are working hard today, so that the students come up and they match themselves with the industry's needs, and they really help. That is what I am seeing everywhere. The teachers are finding various ways what other colleges are doing, and learning from them. There are such type of seminars and conferences happen, and many times the meetings of the IQSC and all this is being discussed. So the teacher's duty has not limited to teaching only. Now with the changing time, the technology has given us many facilities, and we are trying to improve the groom our students so that they get better and better services, not only from the education institutions, also from the teachers. Now, why the quality should be sustained? We require to build knowledge society. Today we talk about the knowledge economy. What is the knowledge economy? Knowledge economy should be strong. Then only you progress in the technological field. You progress in other fields, education and other sectors. Everywhere, the knowledge is important. Without knowledge, you cannot progress. Knowledge gives, increases, enhances your skill also, and knowledge will always help in building a strong economy. Then globalization of education is there. So as I said that quality is never ending process. So in globalized world, we have to keep ourselves moving, improving, finding out new ideas, innovative ideas, so that we stand with the growing competition of the globalization. And another thing is, you have to sustain the quality. You have to keep your stakeholders satisfied. For example, the student should be satisfied. Your employees should be satisfied. The parents of the students, they also talk good about yourself. You must be able to get good feedback, very nice feedback from all these stakeholders, and that should happen, because, for example, today they may say that the teaching is good, and the teaching is good. What next? It should be what if the teaching is good, you should not be, you should not be very happy that our teaching is good, so we are good. Apart from the teaching, we have to take feedback of the other areas also. Infrastructure. Today, the infrastructure, you may get number one, but after 2 years, the infrastructure improvement may be required. So that should go on. So you have to keep your customers satisfied, and for that you have to work hard. You have to keep improving the quality. You have to have the innovations in your institutions, and that will boost the morale of the students, employers, everyone. And then only we can build a brand. Now, internal quality assurance cells, what does it do? It realizes the goals of quality enhancement and sustenance for the consistent improvement of academic and administrative performance. Now, what do they do? You all know that we have the meetings of the IQAC, and in the IQAC, we keep talking that what next. We scored, our score is A, and now we have to go for the A plus. What next? What we should do better? For that, like comparing with they should get, I must say that the members of the IQAC, they should get lot of exposures to the other institutions also. So that what is happening in our other institution or rival institution, that is to be seen. We have to set a benchmark and we have to decide that what we have to do next, how we will improve the quality. For example, alumni. Our alumni institution is registered, but what? We have to attract the funds from the alumni. It is not only the matter of funds, but we also should get something in kind. Say, for example, alumni is working with the industries, having their own industries. We should get their expertise. We should call them for the guest lecture very often, as Dr. Manu said, that the linkages with the industry is very, very important. So we can track our alumni from various fields. If they are in good positions and all, we should bring them, we should be able to bring them to the, we should bring them back to their alma mater so that they can help us in growing. And all these, as you know, that annual quality assurance report and all, they have to prepare from time to time. This is the responsibility. Give suggestions, conduct various conferences, seminars, etc. Now, quality education. Quality education, I'm saying quality education, quality education. I would also like to tell one thing, that quality should be dynamic, it should be continuous. It is a good. Knowledge is a good. Knowledge is a commodity. Okay. And this commodity should be retained. And if this commodity should be improved, innovated. Okay. And now how can it happen? For that, we have to keep continuously, like continuous reforms in the system. Then only it will be possible. For example, we have seen that the teaching methods have changed with the technological changes, and a typewriter have replaced using word processors have replaced the typewriters, fax machines, etc. You want to know that. Now, quality in higher education is what? Excellence, perfection, standard, and competencies for work, consistency, and relevance. What is excellence? Quality of teaching, the capability of students, the provisions and level of student achievement. Reputation of institutions which may depend upon the students' experience and the varying missions of the institutions. Any is the saying reputation or brand image of the institution depends upon what? It will depend upon the students' experience. Students' experience will play 70%. I will tell you 70% student experience will help you in building a brand image of your institution. For example, the students' feedback for all the matters should be taken, and the students are the like brand makers of the institution, and their suggestions should be taken up, and the students participation in IQAC and other like important meetings of the college development committee and all, that should be encouraged, so that the students give a very good, they will give the actual feedback of the institution, and that should be taken seriously to build the brand image of the institution and institution's mission also. Promoting fairness and equality is very important to empower the students. It is not only the students, we should also we should be fair and equal to the staff, the neighboring communities. Example, if your college institution is surrounded by these, like economically weaker section classes, say for example, slums, admins, there, NSS unit of the college, DLLE unit of the college, and other students of the college, they should be trained to go and, empower them by promoting the importance of education, gender equity, gender empowerment, etc. They can raise the level of that community in terms of all these factors. The rewarding and recognizing the performance of the staff is also very important to make the institution excellent. Staff, student, alumni, they should be motivated. Various incentives to be provided to them. For example, during Corona, some staff members, they really work very hard to reach the students, to teach them. Administrative staff, they also work very hard. The NAC, AQAR work was going on. So some institutes, they recognized and, they rewarded them. And similarly, from time to time, such rewards and incentives, for example, punctuality, regularity, and for special performance, say for example, remedial measures to the students, and the weak students, when through the remedial teaching, when he scores merit, then also they should be rewarded. Attractive rewards, incentives should be provided to the teachers and the administrative staff and the students, so that they get motivated, and that adds to the excellence of the educational institution. Perfection. Perfection, again, perfection, as you know, the quality comes from the perfection only. For that, I would suggest that the happiness index of the students, teachers, and parents, etc., should be taken, administrative staff, and happiness index will show you that student. Performance improvement as compared to the other organizations, as I said, that we should set the benchmarking and compare ourselves with the other institutions in areas of functioning, various areas of functioning. Teachers should be innovative, creative, and for that, timely faculty development programs and all from time to time should be conducted for them. Skill development programs for the students, then establishment of collaborations with industries, social organizations, and networking with the neighboring neighborhood areas, and also agencies and bodies to promote institutional social responsibility should be done. Critical thinking and problem solving skills should be developed among the learners by organizing debates, then elocution competitions. For example, if the subject, in a subject like economics, there is a topic like unemployment or economic growth. In that case, what we can do is we can have a debate and elocution competition. Not only that, to promote the research skill of the student, we can ask the student to conduct a survey on unemployment in the neighboring areas, so that they come to know what is the reason, which type of people are unemployed, and what is the reason for their unemployment, etc. And this type of feedback can be submitted to the some departments of the government, and reports can be published, etc. can be done. And gender empowerment, again, the surveys can be done, field work can be done, etc. And again, see, we say that curriculum is a curriculum comes from the university designs the curriculum. Many of us have this problem, but I would tell that the curriculum based bridge courses can be introduced. If our curriculum is not, like employment oriented, we need not blame the university. We can make it employment oriented. For example, an ordinary, or not, I must not say ordinary, a student, who has passed out 12th standard, and he cannot study further because of many reasons. And he had a curriculum wherein we did not have any job oriented. subjects. So in the school itself, when he is in 12th standard, some vocational subjects should be taught to him so that it is our prerogative quality, that is the prepare the students to be good entrepreneurs, leaders and strong workforce of the country. And for that, every theory subject should have the every theory subject should be taught with the practical applications, which is practical applications so that, hello?
Madam, sorry to interrupt, but your slide is not visible.
No, that's the best.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am, you can share your content. Sorry, there was some technical glitch. You can share your content.
Hello, madam. You are not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Now audible?
Yes, yes.
So what I was saying is consistency and relevance should be there if we are to maintain the quality standard of our institution. And for that, the relevance should be established through showing how theory can be applied in practice, establishing relevance to local cases, relating material to everyday applications, or finding applications in current newsworthy issues. For example, civil engineering students should be taught environmental impact and management of ongoing live projects which are there in the city. What is the environmental impact and how it can be managed, how they are managing while doing it. If that is, they can be given live projects, I can say. For that, again, you will require the linkages with that particular unit, industry, etc. Now, quality, how the quality
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Am I audible to you? Ma'am, actually, you are on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Now you are audible.
Okay, what about the slides?
Ma'am, you can reshare your content. Actually, the slides are not visible.
Okay. So, academic and administrative audit, gender audit, energy audit, etc., should be conducted regularly. Then we have to assess. Our graph should go up. Every audit, we must see that our graph is going up. Analysis of statistical information, then the benchmarking, comparing and consulting with the best institutions, surveys of students, graduates, employers, professional bodies, testing the knowledge, skills, and competencies of faculties and students, conducting faculty development programs, soft skill trainings for the faculties, administrative staff, students, then curriculum curriculum should be made progressive and contemporary. As I said, that by putting them into the practical means by having some practical applications of the concepts, then again,
Ma'am,
sorry.
sorry to disturb you, ma'am. Actually, your slides are not visible.
Okay, I'll call again somebody. Now,
Yes, ma'am. It's visible now. You can continue. Thank you, ma'am.
now teachers uh, uh, again, to maintain the quality, the factors are required to maintain the teaching quality is that teachers should create learning environment. They should enable the critical and rational thinking and develop initiative to express their thoughts, to develop decision making power in the students. Then they should also learn problems. They should teach the students the problem solving and crisis management. From time to time, they should act as mentors and guides to the student. As today, NAC has made it mandatory to have the mentoring system in all the colleges. Again, through mentoring, we can understand the various other problems, not only the academic, other problems of the students. A teacher must understand and teacher must try to support and help such students. Teacher development measures should be introduced. One of them is faculty development programs, and again the research publications, they should be motivated. The funds should be provided to the teachers so that they can have the quality research, different workshops, program trainings, listening seminars and conferences on research methodology should be conducted very often, not only for the teachers, but also for the students. This should be done. Faculty exchange programs can be done with the locally also, and interstate also we can conduct. Then upgradation of qualification of the teachers, then exposure to the recent development. Teachers should be exposed to the recent developments taking place in their areas. Now we have trained all the teachers for the online teaching. Similarly, any other new teaching methods coming up, we must give exposure to them by allowing them to participate in international conferences, national conferences, seminars, debates, etc. And they should be promoted for writing books and papers. And we should give a target. Every year, a teacher should publish these many papers. Every semester, say for example, even if we make one paper compulsory for each teacher, each semester, then also the number of research papers, the graph goes up in the college. Then professional freedom should be given to the teachers. Professional freedom will definitely improve the quality and they get motivated. What is this professional freedom? Professional freedom is, allowing them to create a learning environment in which the student is more comfortable and he is learning effectively. For example, if the teacher wants to take the students for the field study, the institution, the management should allow them for that. Because that may create, like effective learning environment for the child. And such type of professional freedom should be given to the teachers. Then it is not only the teachers, the learners' quality also should improve. Learners' quality, skills, understanding, then the understanding, crisis management, etc. When they learn, like confidence building, and that will happen through value-based education, employment-oriented education, industry-ready programs. From a good quality institution, what learner expects? Learner expects that he should become economically productive. If I am completing this subject, this course, this degree, I should get a particular job of, this much amount. This should be my package, etc. I would like to give you an example here. That I came across a student who was pursuing her medicine, and her parents wanted that he or she should complete the medicine degree, MBBS, but the child was very much interested that he should become economically productive as soon as possible, at the earliest. And if he studies for MBBS 5 years, it will take longer time. After MBBS, what will be his economic, what will be his package, salary package? And today, like suppose that boy completes graduation, that is BCom or mass media or whatever. So what will be his package? And what is the cost of, what is the cost of education in MBBS and what is the cost of education in 3 years in this particular degree course, mass media and all that. And that child kept on persuading the parent that no, after 1 year of MBBS, that child wanted to, withdraw and wanted to do 3 years degree course because, she was more interested in that particular course instead of completing that. So again, it comes that, when you want to become economically productive, you should be doing the thing of your interest. The very first thing, the child was measuring herself in terms of money, and how soon, how early she can earn, how soon she can become, industry, part of industry, employment, part of employment. And again, the interest also. She was more interested in creative writing, etc., etc. So, if you want to become, if a learner, we have to produce a good quality learner. It is very important that what is he interested in. And definitely that will add to his economic productivity. Then sustainable livelihoods for the good standard of living, standard of life. Definitely a learner expects that he should, from his education, he should get good standard of life, good standard of living also. Then contribute to peaceful and democratic society. He should, by learning, by completing the education, what he can do for the society. Then he should also gain knowledge and wisdom from the education. It should inculcate democratic idealism and principles of social order in him and develop higher order thinking in every shape of life, every sphere of life. so that he become more confident, more active, and his contribution to not only to his family but the society and nation also be more. Role of the students. Students expect that he should get a good education, and by after completing the education he should get a good placement, good job, and he expects nowadays that the college should provide him placement, etc., etc. But what is his role? He should also play a very important role in building the quality education. This college is good, that college is good, this institution is good. That is, who makes it? The students make. This is the students' role who build the quality of the education or any higher education institution. So he should be equally aware that his responsibilities are more, and therefore he should demonstrate his commitment to quality education. He should study well. He should participate in all extracurricular activities. He should participate in other co-curricular activities. He should complete his projects on time and effectively. Similarly, any other curriculum related assignments are given, he should complete. Not only the completion, he should complete it with the good quality. The and again, the feedback of the student is very important, as NAC advocates the public display of student satisfaction survey, an act of promotion of student participation in quality assurance. That is, the student satisfaction survey poster should be displayed in the college. Student must know what is his commitment towards, not only giving the feedback, it is what is his commitment. When he goes out to the market, he has to say that I am from this institution is very good, and this is a very good initiative by NAC. This student satisfaction survey will definitely increase the commitment of the student towards the quality building. The management, what management must do? Management should provide well-equipped infrastructure, financial support, then good library to the students, then there should be a display of useful information of the institutes through articles, advertisements, posters. Then a library should also provide the good books, journals, magazines, and that should be displayed. Students must be made aware about it through websites and notices, circulars and all. Internet access should be made available to all, whether it is a student, staff, teachers, etc. Then management must play important role in maintaining professional standards for teachers by conducting through workshops, refresher courses, seminars, conferences, and obtaining regular feedback from the students. Then self-appraisal of the teachers should be taken. Performance review should be done. Feedback from the teachers should be taken about the institution, students, physical and educational infrastructure. Department industry linkages management should provide, and also workshops, seminars, symposiums. Then commerce department can conduct programs with the Indian Chamber of Commerce, Institute of Chartered Accountants, MSME, etc. Now we speak about the quality. Quality building is the responsibility of the management. It is the responsibility of the teachers. It is the equal responsibility of the students also. And quality building is necessary today, as it is a matter of concern. There is a big human capital outflow from our country, but
Dr. Arya, can you hear us?
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible to you?
Let us wait for a few minutes for Madam to resume.
Okay, ma'am.
Participants are requested to be patient. We are trying to get in touch with the resource person.
Participants are requested to post any questions that you may have for Dr. Arya while we are waiting for her to reconnect.
technical glitch. So she will not be able to join back, but as such, it was her concluding slide. If at all you have any questions, you can just post it. We will communicate to her and get back to you. So right now we'll take a lunch break of half an hour. The next session will start at 2 o'clock. So all the participants are requested to join back at 1:55 using the same link. Thank you very much.